ladies and gentlemen. My name is Mike Larkin, one half of the S&M Show podcast, and I'm back today with another interview. I am on the line with a very talented wrestler, very talented competitor. I am on the line with Miss Christina Marie. Christina, how are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing well. I gotta say this. I know last night, first and foremost, before we even get into anything, last night you just had an incredible match with Miss Allie Rex. Talk about working Allie last night.
Last night, I'm gonna start by saying it was a good fight. Me and Allie's been having a battle the last couple months at PPW, and I've been challenging her for the belt for some time. And best of all, she challenged her full throttle belt on top of her PPW women's belt to give me all respect during this match. And she came up on top. She got me to tap, and I'm pretty disappointed in myself. But overall, she just proved that she came up on top, and I give her all respect, and she gives me respect back. So at the end of the day, that's her house. She can have that. But we had a good fight. I'll give that to her. She's a very talented girl.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, because this is not the first time you guys have wrestled. I mean, you guys have just put on incredible match after incredible match. You guys got great chemistry.
Yes. Over and over again, we've been battling each other for quite some time, especially in the beginning of 2018.
Got you. All right. Now, Christina, let's talk about the early stages. I mean, talk about, growing up. Who were some of your favorite talents, and what was the defining moment that you said, this is something that I want to pursue, that being professional wrestling?
It had to start off when I was really young. When I was around 12, 13, I started off by watching wrestling, but overall I grew up a big tomboy. Being the only female in my family besides my mother at the time, I grew up with two brothers, a father, all the sports between high school wrestling and stuff. So I already grew up with this hard shell with sports and everything, so I thank my brothers for that. But that's how it all started off. I started off by powerlifting, actually, and that was like a getaway from reality kind of thing, and I started pursuing that, weightlifting, and I found a school nearby because I've always wanted to do wrestling, and I gave it a shot. And once I gave it a shot, I knew right then and there that this is what I should have been doing from a long time ago. I just never knew that this was what I would want to do until I got the chance to actually do it.
And the thing
so that's where I got where I'm at now, being 24 years old.
No, and that's a beautiful thing too. You mentioned powerlifting, and I mean, the way that you look, your physique, you got a great physique, you got a great look to it, and you could just, that's that power strong right there. I mean,
yeah.
You look great.
Yes, thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, please, you're welcome. I mean, I could tell. I could tell from just, looking at your promos, the intensity that you put into it, and just the, the drive that you have. I mean, I could just tell you're a very hardworking individual.
I give it my all every time. If you're not going to give it your all, don't even do it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now, you mentioned, finding the right school, and that's a big thing, obviously, getting into the professional wrestling industry. Talk about who you were trained by, and I love asking about the first match experiences. Talk about, first of all, who were you trained by, and number two, talk about who was your first match against, and just thoughts going into that first match of yours.
Yeah, I was trained by Shockwave the Robot, based out of a school that right now is closed, but it was called Extreme Wrestling Alliance, quote, XWA, based out of Albany, New York, off of Central Avenue. But Shockwave taught me all my roots from day one, and I've been trained by him up until at least the last 6 months since the school closed. But we still stay in touch. But he's the reason why I have all my talent in the ring, the way it is, all my charisma, the timing. He's who I am today.
And
that's where I started off, right there. That's where my roots were.
Okay.
With a man steel machine, if you know what I'm saying.
Yes.
Robot.
Now, you got to also tell me about, first off, talk about, getting into the ring for the first time. Talk about your first match and just thoughts going into it.
My very first singles match. I traveled to New England, Champion Wrestling, and that was Massachusetts, Boston area, I believe. Yes, that was Boston area, and I faced actually one of the biggest opponents I still have yet to face, weight-wise, Toxic. She's very scary, especially starting off in the business. I was very intimidated going into the ring with a girl that's triple my size, and as dark as she was with her soul, I just was very intimidated. But with my first match, I still went in headstrong. I still didn't, back out. I wasn't scared. I was in it, I was in it or whatever. That's what I was made to do. So my first match, I went out there, I gave it my all, and it wasn't enough, and I thought I could do it my very first match, but I got squashed by her, and it made me want to work harder. At the end of the day, when I left that match defeated, I drove 3.5, 4 hours home with my friend that traveled with me, and I felt defeated. And she told me, she was like, listen, she goes, you're going to have defeat. You're going to, that's how you're going to, enjoy your wins. So my first experience, I could say, it was disappointing. But, hey, you can't just hope that you're going to go out and ace everything your first try. You got to have some setbacks. So with my first match, I'm going to say, I was very upset in the beginning. But at the end, when I stand here now, I'm glad that happened. Because that made me strong and stronger, and that's where I stand today, is one of the most strongest female athletes that is in independent wrestling right now. And I'm making my way across the nation to prove a point. And I've only been in this for 2 years, and that's just not going to stop me now. I'm just going to keep climbing the ladder. So I've already had, I could say, about 45, 50 matches throughout the East Coast, and I'm slowly making my way over now. But my first experience, I'm happy that happened, because that's where I am today. That's how I got where I am today.
And I'll say this right now. I mean, we're going to touch upon a lot of your opponents, and we're going to talk about the pro wrestling industry. But I'll say this right now. I've seen your work. I love your work, and I think you definitely are proving those doubters wrong.
Thank you. That's really what I'm doing. I'm trying to be a role model and prove that, if you really stick your mind to something and you love to do it, if it's in front of you, take it, work hard for it, get it. Don't just say you're going to do it. Don't just dream on it and lay at night. Get up and do it. Work for it. Go at night. Think about how you can wake up and get closer to those goals. And that's my headset. That's how I've gotten where I've been. Between my next opponent, my next match, my next journey, that's how I keep pushing every day. And I try to push that on all my fans, all my family, friends, just to keep pushing forward no matter the struggles.
And absolutely, I mean, that's just great advice to adhere to anybody listening as well. And I just got to say this. All right, so we talked about Ali Rex. We mentioned that in the beginning of this conversation. So you've had so many other great matches as well. I mean, one opponent I want to talk to you about is I've seen this girl work as well as yourself in the Northeast, and just another great talent, another rising and star, and just another one with a bright future. Talk about working with Gemma Cross.
Gemma Cross?
Yes.
Yes, I worked her a couple of times, actually, over the last course of a year. She was one of my very first couple of matches when I started off in professional wrestling with Dynasty Promotion. She has a lot of spunk in her. Yeah, she has a snotty attitude. I give that to her, I look into her eyes, I see death, but she's an enemy. It's work, But I give her props, her work ethic is up there. But still, no matter what, she's still never going to really top me. And she knows that at the end of the day. We face each other 3 times, 4 times. Doesn't matter if we go up to 6, 7, 8, I'm still going to outdo Gemma.
Oh, yeah. And I mean, that's another one. I definitely had to mention that, because besides Allie, when I look at you girls as well go at it, I mean, there's just you, again, great chemistry, and it just, you could tell that one wants to outdo the other, and just one wants to go out there and just entertain and please the people.
Yeah.
And I also got to say this as well. Another one that really sticks out for me is you got to also work with Gabby Gilbert, I believe, who is the wife of Jimmy Rave. And, we see her do her thing with Shine, her and Luscious Latasha. I mean, talk about working with Gabby.
Gabby. Gabby. You know, she's tons of fun, you know, working with her, acting with that, you know, lots of colors, you know. I never thought my color scale could go up in a matter of, you know, 5 minutes standing in front of her. But, as, you know, as tough as I am, she kind of lightens my day being in the ring with her. But at the same time, you know, when it's time to go to sleep and, you know, it's dark outside, it's time to get dirty. So she doesn't know how to separate her play from work, and that's how I feel about Gabby when I work with her. Because she goes out there, she gets in the ring and thinks to herself, you know, let's play. No, I ain't your friend, Gabby. You know, I'm here to conquer one thing only, and that's to prove that I'm better than you. So, but overall, very colorful. I'll give her that, but she still ain't better than me.
All right, and I mean, one more opponent I'll mention right now, because I want to mix this up with you and just chat it up as far as just in general about pro wrestling. One I got to mention is we've seen this girl in Women of Honor. We've seen her do her thing on the indies. Talk about working with Miss Karen Q.
You know, it's an honor to have worked with Karen beforehand. She was my second opponent when I first started off in wrestling, and I had a phenomenal match with her. That's especially when I was getting on my A game with my gymnastics in the ring and being able to be on point and respond to, you know, the impact that my opponent would give to me, you know. And with her, Karen, she has what it takes. She when it comes down to being put on the spot, she does what it does. She does what it takes to get there. And I give that to her because that's what I do. And we have the same work ethic. You know, nobody's going to get in our way for what we need to get done or what we want. And we'll scratch, claw, scream our way to the top. And it's been a while since I've seen Karen. I faced actually Karen at ECW way back at the Super 8 Chick Fight. And, you know, I felt like I was very cheated. The fact that she came on top, I think it was bull crap, whatever the case was. I'll get my revenge on her, but one thing only, Karen got it, you know, but she doesn't know what's coming when she faces me again. That's for damn sure.
And I'll be honest, I can't wait till we see another interaction between the two of you. Now, and it's funny that you mentioned this because I know you mentioned you're 2 years in the business and you're still doing your thing. But another one, like you mentioned, 2 years in the business and they're just doing their things. Incredible athlete, incredible work regimen, incredible work ethic. I mean, one that really sticks out to me. We actually see her on NXT, not a couple times, but Bianca Belair is another one. She was in the Mae Young Classic, working girls like Kairi Sane and just putting on these matches. Again, another one, 2 years in the business, and it's just incredible, such as yourself.
Yeah, there's so many different women out there that have such high work ethic, more than other females, you know, and that's what's getting them out there. That's what's getting them, you know, on TV and calls from WWE and, you know, and getting those opportunities. You know, they didn't just sit there and it just dropped on their lap, you know, and there's a difference between those type of people out there that are in the business. People that do it for just fun, or people who love to do it for fun and who want to do it every day and be that role model. There's two different types of people in that business, and the ones that are meant for it really shine through and climb that ladder, and you can see who's better. There's a lot of them out there, you know, a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Like me. We know that.
Oh, yeah, and I mean, and it's so great to see, like, the independent promotions out here. Now, Warriors of Wrestling is one. You see a lot of great companies establishing women's championships and having great women's tournaments. We also see that on the big stage as well, just all in all in professional wrestling in general. So it's great to see, you know, women get their shine. And I think it's got to feel good for you, Christina, because you're representing the next generation of women who are going to come and then, you know, who are going to check you out. And just, you know, you're an integral part of how wrestling is taking over.
Yes. And women's wrestling now, the revolution is changed, and we're not divas. I take that as kind of like disrespect when I hear that out of another woman's mouth, because we're not divas. There is divas out there, but that's a totally different term. We're athletes. We can go out there and do the same thing the guys do, if not sometimes better. And that, you know what I mean? We're all human. We all bleed the same. You know what I mean? We all go to the bathroom the same. Sorry, you know what I'm saying? Like we're all human. It's what it is.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I mean, I've heard it. I've been to these shows, and I'll say this right now. I've always had to take on women's wrestling because I've seen, back in the day, all it was, the bikini contests and the bra and
Yeah,
panties and
half here you're really half naked, and it's more like sex, and it's like sex sells, and it's like, all right, yeah, we get the point. Women's body is beautiful, of course, and it's just back then it was a little different there. Love the era back then, but when it came to women's era, it's like you got Lisa, like that, and that's a totally different story. But the other one, it's that's what's making us prove and work extra hard out here to prove that this is a new revolution and this is what it's about and this is what it should have been.
Yeah, and you make a great point. Obviously, back in the day, you had your Lita, your Trishas, your Victorias, your Molly Hollies, your Jacquelines. So the list goes on and on. But what's great about it is
Phoenix all down. Yeah.
Yes. But what's great about it now is you're giving more time to you guys. You're actually accentuating and let you guys just go out there and do what you do. You know what I'm saying? Just give you time and just go out there and show why you guys are leaps and bounds equal to us. Not only just even sometimes better, like you mentioned, better than some of the men out there.
Yes, definitely, yeah.
Now, all right. So one of the big topics that did come out this week was. All right, and she is a legend in the business. I will give her this. People say what they will, but all right. So the big thing that came out was the Fabulous Moolah Battle Royal was taking place at WrestleMania. Now it's just called the WrestleMania Women's Battle Royal. And all right, so I really don't know what to say in a way about this because I've always, we all know about the Fabulous Moolah, her long reign as champion. She made Vince McMahon Sr. and she's a trailblazer in the women's, the women's business and the women's revolution and women's wrestling in general. But I gotta say, what do you think about the whole thing that went down with the changing of the name as far as just memorializing Fabulous Moolah, just making it the WrestleMania Women's Battle Royal as far as that goes?
The change it's kind of like last second kind of thing. So I know they did all the changes with you had your first elimination chamber, women's chamber. And all the revolution that WWE is putting out there for us to have, for them to have, kind of think it's all right. Same time, to WrestleMania, I get the whole point. They don't want to just quote the women's battle royal. But I kind of understand. I kind of would be upset because it's last second. Why just leave it the way it is? Because you already advertised it and you already have everybody feeling that it's the women, women's WrestleMania Battle Royal. So I guess, sorry, I don't really have too much feeling about it. No matter what, they're getting the opportunity to do that, and that's fabulous. At the end of the day, they're making history.
Exactly, but yeah, it was the most topical thing. I know there was a lot of negative backlash for it, but still, it's just let the girls shine is really how I feel about it. Like I'm saying, let you guys just shine. Like I said, I've been all about it. I got nothing but complimentary things to say about yourself and the great women that are, putting in that work right now in the wrestling business. Now, I want to talk about some more of your opponents here because, again, it's just like you've wrestled so many, men, women, just incorporated into this group here. I believe you also did a tag match with Brooke Danielle, and Anthony Gangone. Talk about working those two individuals.
Yes. I worked them at MTW for my debut there at Northern Tier Wrestling in Taiwan, PA. And I really didn't have a threat with Brooke. Anthony, I was going for Anthony more likely because, kind of like more my size. Yeah, he's a little bigger, but I'm not too intimidated by it, of course. Look at me. But overall, I made my point across by showing that men can be body slammed as well as females or anybody else. I really enjoyed that match because I got to prove my strength in Taiwan, PA, for all the fans to see. Not only just the Brooke, to Anthony. I enjoyed it. It was fun.
One that really sticks out for me as well is because this young lady, I just had her on my show not too long ago. I mean, I've seen her work with, Ashley Vox and Delmy Exo as a part of Team C Stars, and she just wrestled a match against Viper not too long ago in the United Kingdom. Talk about working with Jocelyn.
Jocelyn. I worked with Jocelyn at Dynasty in Port Jarvis a couple months back, and let me tell you, that girl can bite, literally. I knew going into the match that she can bite, and that's exactly what she ended up doing. What she's good at. It was a brawl. It was a roll. We fought it off. At the end of the day, I went to slam her, and she just got a hold of me again with the bite, and she got me. She just rolled up on me and got me. That bite was very powerful. So my advice to anybody out there that beats Jocelyn, just watch where she's fighting, because that's lethal. I had marks for days. I had to go get like a tetanus shot. Like, that's how serious it was. Like, these stitches, like, she bit me that serious.
I mean, you pretty much said it on that, because I'm talking to this girl and she's like the sweetest thing it can be, but I'm like, yo, I don't want to get bit by her. I mean, come on. I've seen...
Listen, instant. Don't bleed in front of her. Don't like, a Band-Aid. Listen, just be careful. And you know me, I have red hair.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. So like, I was literally a target from the get-go. So you get what I'm saying.
And I mean, as a fan, of both of your work, I'm like, yo, I see how she's coming at you, and then I see you. You got the red hair, and like you mentioned, like I'm just like, yo, these are like two of my favorite people going at it. I'm like, God, and again, the most sincerity to you, but my God, yeah, that bite, oof, that bite, agreed.
I know, it's vicious.
Now, another one I wanted to mention here, Sammy Pandora and Damaris, and as well as Skylar. You've got to work with those three as well. Talk about working with those three ladies.
Sammy, I got the chance to work with Sammy with Ariel Nix when I debuted for PPW in Hazleton, PA. And that was with Allie Rex, actually, also. That's actually where my feud started with her. But with Sammy, that's the first time I got the chance to have a spark with her, got the chance to have a little duet with her real quick, and her athleticism, don't underestimate her, She got some fire underneath her bottom. Let's just say that. I enjoyed working with her. She's a good worker. And Damaris, I just worked with her actually recently. She bothers me the most because it's like she can't even fight the fair one. She's a champion for ECWA. She's representing a title, yet she's anywhere near a champion. I don't see anything good about her holding that title for ECWA. And actually, speaking of title, I faced her this weekend at the Atlantic City Showboat in the casino for her ECWA women's title. And it's a no disqualification match due to the stupid ECWA official disqualifying me when Damaris didn't want to get up and fight the fair one. So I'm pretty sure that went viral. Of course, lack of professionalness in the rest. But I faced her this weekend. I'll give it to her. She's athletic. She can pick me up. She's there. But when it comes down to being put under, once she's under, she's done. Once she's down, she stays down. And that's what it's gonna be about this weekend. It's gonna see if she can really just stay on her 2 feet. Because there ain't no ref there that's gonna call that count. And at the end of that match, I'm going to stand tall with that championship belt over Damaris to let her know this is what a women's champion is. And I'm not going to go nowhere for ECWA. I know I've been challenging all these promotions out there and all different females between Allie and every other promotion. But I'm trying to make a point. I'm trying to test every one of these females out here and try to see what they really have and what it takes. And if they don't have what it takes, then I'm coming in and I'm taking the gold, what they have and what they're trying to represent. But Damaris, she has what she doesn't even know what's coming. And I've been preparing myself all week for this. You know, I wrestled Ali. You know what I did this morning? I woke up, I went to the gym, I said, Damaris is on the list next. That's the next opponent. That's my next enemy. And I'm ready to come for her. So, I know she's at home just sitting there waiting to wake up the next day, like, not stressing anything because she's sitting on some pretty belt. She ain't going to be sitting on that belt after Saturday.
Wow. And I'm right there for you with that. I mean, that was, yeah, look out, Damaris. Look out. So, yes. Now, I have to just say this as well. Recently, in the news as well, this also pertains to, with women's wrestling, just changing of the guard and just relationships as well. Impact announced that they are partnering up with Rise. A lot of great talent in the Rise promotion. We see all great talent in Shimmer, Shine, list goes on and on that feature great women of today. Now, I gotta ask you, I know you mentioned Allie as one. I'd love to see you go against girls like Casey Spinelli. I mean, even if women of honor get you Kelly Klein, Holla Dead. I mean, the list goes on and on with the great women that are out there. But, we definitely got to see you in Rise. I'd love to see you go against the girls over there.
I'm working hard. I'm trying to, prove a point by beating these girls to get to them, to have the opportunity to get in a ring to fight with them, to show that I have what it takes to be on their level, if not further. And here's the thing is, you can always say that you're good, you can always say that you're better, and this and that. You can talk the talk. But you can't walk the walk and dance the dance. You ain't going to make it anywhere. You're just going to stay exactly where you are and where you're talking, and that's what I'm trying to get at. I give all the women in professional wrestling respect. The only time I don't give respect is if it's not given to me either. So it's a tit for tat, wash for wash kind of business.
Exactly, and I'll say this right now, another one. I've seen a lot of, as far as the social medias, but women of wrestling superheroes. You got Amber O'Neil there. Santana Garrett has done stuff there. There's a lot of girls going to that promotion as well. And personally, I know you're working very hard. I'd love to see you do some work with women of wrestling over there.
I would love to get there.
Absolutely, and it's just so great. Like I mentioned, I'll say this over and over again until whenever. I'll just be honest. So many great talents. You are one of them. And I'm going to tell you this right now. I truly wish you nothing but the best going forward. I really do look forward to see how your career progresses. You're very welcome. A couple of the opponents I wanted to mention here, and then we'll keep shooting the breeze about pro wrestling. Tequila Rose, Kennedy Copeland. Talk about working with those ladies.
Tequila.
Yeah, I know.
Good Joey, man. I can't imagine being in the same room as her manager, Joey, he has a freaking mouth on him. And Tequila, she, can be Miss Makeup Queen. She put on pounds and pounds of makeup. It's still not going to hide the ugliness from her. And that's the only thing she has, is that pretty little face and maybe some, little hips with a big booty. I'll give that to her. She may have a big, a donkadon, but she ain't no threat to me. I faced her once, I faced her twice, I faced her a third time. It ain't no sweat on my back. It's more sweat on her back. And Kennedy Copeland, let me tell you, I won't even flinch, I won't blink an eye. That girl is considered a shoulder press, a hip thrust. What is she, 95 pounds?
She's very skinny.
Oh, yeah, she's, well, I'm trying to give her a little weight, she's tiny, and what impact does that girl have? She has to literally use her whole body to make such an impact on her opponent.
Yes.
And so she's nobody. Let's not talk about them. They're really nobody, I'm sorry, I just don't really want to talk about them.
Okay. No problem. That's okay. That's all right. Yeah, no, it's totally fine. Now, you've worked for so many great independent promotions, and do you have any ones that's personally your favorite, or it's just like, you know what, you want me, I'm here, I'm ready to wrestle, I'm ready to go? Is there any really, particular promotion that really sticks out to you as, one of the favorites that you worked?
Honestly, if I had to give you one of my favorite promotions, for me only working so long, I can't just quote like top favorite. I enjoy a couple of them. I mean, okay, I debuted for MAW out in Lorain, Ohio, 2 weekends ago, and the Ohio people popped. Like it was like I couldn't even explain the energy in the room that helped me get my victory. And and I've been there once, and I can't say like they're my favorite, but I can go somewhere once, and it's just a feeling there. It could be the favorite. It's just anytime I go out there, it doesn't matter what promotion it is. It doesn't matter where I'm at. I go out there, and there's people out there waiting for me to do my thing and cheer me on and see what I'm capable of doing. And that's really the drive. That's really what I favorite the most is going out there and doing what I do. Doesn't matter what promotion, if it's for the Dynasty, if it's for PAPW, for PPW, for MAW, so on. Any promotion I've worked for. My favorite part is just performing and going out there for the people and showing them what kind of athlete I am.
Now, Miss Christina, a couple last questions before we do get out of here. And I want to say this right now. It's been an absolute pleasure speaking with you tonight, and I definitely look forward to having you back on in the future. It's been a blast tonight.
Yes, thank you again. It's an honor. I enjoy chatting with you. I really do.
You're very welcome. Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you guys right now, this is what's great about speaking with the people that I do. I mean, I just had 2 quality interviews this week. I got yourself. I just spoke with Trinity from who's in WWE and TNA back in the day. And I mean, like I said, it's great conversations because it's just people who appreciate the business and who have the drive of what they do, whatever endeavor that they pursue. So like I said, it's great always speaking with someone who not only respects the business, but, is just an absolute class act. And that would be such as yourself, Christina.
Yeah.
So, a couple last things I want to say. If you could give any advice, because like I said, I've said it throughout the thing, you're really proving your doubters wrong, and I want to see you just go far. So just any advice for any guy or gal that wants to get in the professional wrestling business?
First, I'm going to start off by saying, for advice, if you want to become a professional wrestler, is that if you want it, don't complain, don't whine, don't cry. When it comes down to being criticized or, pointed out what you're doing wrong, it's a work area. You're learning something every day. You're getting taught how to do something every day. And if you can't handle the heat, you can't handle the words and being taught, you're not meant for it. It's like school. If you can't deal with being taught, which a lot of people can't, be told what to do, or in that state, taking orders as an being under somebody's wing. But foremost, my advice would be is work out, cardio. Make sure your breathing is up to date before getting in the ring. Just give it your all. Honestly, try it out. If you're not meant to do it, don't do it. Don't waste time for the people that go out there that really want to waste, they want to take their time out their day to go train. You're taking from the people who really need the training done. So my advice out there is if you really want to do it, work for it. Bleed, scratch, whatever. Don't complain. Wake up, do it. Get it done. You'll be there. And at the end of the day, you can pat yourself on the back and your trainer. Don't just complain. So that's my advice. Is just get in shape. If you're going to do it, do it. Don't say you're going to do it. Don't talk about doing it. Don't talk about it. Just get it done. That's what makes some people different from one another. People talk, and people do the same thing.
I think that's well said, and I think that's the best way to put it. I mean, I'll give you an example. Like a person who just wrote a book, and he was very big in the 80s, and still his career just wow. Dr. D. David Schultz, he just came out with his own autobiography, very old school, and pretty much has the same mentality, just like what you said. I mean, Dr. David Schultz is well known for smacking John Stossel for calling the business fake, which is the farthest thing from it, because you guys and gals put your hearts on the line, and the injuries are real. So that's what I'm saying. I love the mentality that you have with that saying right there.
lot of people say that. I'm not sure where the mentality came from. You know, I'm grateful to have it. I, I have a hard shell, you know, from growing up. I based off of a hard teenage, you know, younghood. So that's where it's got me today. I reflect a lot of my past stuff on the things I do today and try to prove that I try to make someone else feel. I'd rather make someone else feel better than myself, because at the end of the day, to see someone else's joy or light up, it satisfies me at the end of the day. So as long as someone else is happy that's in front of me, that looks up to me, talks to me, I just love to help other people. I have a genuine heart.
And you do. You do, for real. I mean, again, most sincerity and respect to you. So before we do close out, please, the floor is yours, Miss Christina. Please promote your Facebook, your Twitter, your Instagram, your upcoming events. Please, go right ahead. Floor is yours.
You can follow me on Instagram at ms_Christina Marie. And on Twitter, you can follow me at PowerStrongXO. On Facebook, type in Christina Marie. There could be 2 different profiles pop up. I got a fan page. Just look at the redhead that's flexing their bicep. And there's another one. Just add me. I usually add people at the end of the week. I try to add people as much as I can. Looking forward to talking to anybody on my next show. That's going to be at Atlantic City at ECWA, Facing the Mirror. So you don't want to miss that, because that's going to be my first title. I'm so looking forward to this, because it's just walking on a mat. The mirror thing, nothing but a mat. So no disqualification match at Atlantic City, Showboat. Oh, by the way, Booker T's going to be there. Oh, yeah, and I can't wait to show him what kind of skills the most courageous female athlete has from Albany, New York. So follow me, message me, tweet me, like my stuff, check it out. You can type on YouTube, Christina Marie VS, and it pops up all my local videos, everything. Just looking forward to meeting anybody. And it's an honor to be on your show today.
Please, it's an honor having you. I mean, like I said, it's been an absolute pleasure. We definitely will get you on again, without a doubt, because I did really enjoy talking with you tonight. Now, Christina, any final words, not just to the fans, but just like in general? I mean, because just any final words?
Honestly, just no matter what, at the end of the day, I want to give the advice out to the people that go through hard times in life. Is at the end of the day, when you get crushed and you feel like you don't have any hope to pick up yourself, if it's family issues, if you have family health issues, if you have work issues, love issues, at the end of the day, you are what makes you happy. Nobody is going to make you happy, and don't ever expect someone else to be the reason why you're happy. We're human. We make our lives, and that's what's got me where I am today. I realize I'm not going to have nobody stop me to do what I love. And that's the only thing I can say. At the end of the day, be yourself. Do what you love. Don't hold back. No matter the hard times, pick yourself up, because the next day is going to be easier. If not a year from now, a month from now, a week from now, it doesn't matter. It's going to be better. Just time heals everything.
I couldn't have said it any better myself. And I will say this last thing, because I've been saying I'd love to see you go to various promotions, which I know you're working hard to get there, but we're both New Yorkers, so New York Wrestling Connection out of Deer Park, Create a Pro, Wrestle Pro out of New Jersey. Book Christina Marie. That's all I got to say. I mean, just book Christina Marie.
Thank you. Thank you. And I'm looking forward to hearing from anybody out there. Thank you.
You're very welcome. So, Christina, thanks so much. It's been an absolute blast. And, guys, I hope you enjoy this. So, everybody have a great night, and I'll talk to you soon. Peace.
Have a good night. Bye.